I feel like there's one thing we need to address before we start. The what if scenarios, which are usually beating your opponent quickly, unless it's choice based, like go with this person, go with that person, is kind of stupid because, like, there is no timer. The way you know that you lost, if like a specific character says a line, it means go ahead and quit and restart unless you're about to kill that character. Like, for example, when you're fighting with Jiren against Ultra Instinct Goku, and Frieza starts saying, "Are you gonna save me or not, Goku?" Like basically bring me back to life. You've lost the fight. If Goku is not in orange and you're not about to finish him off with the special move, you're not about to finish him off with the Kamehameha or whatever the fuck Jiren's thing is, you lost. Go ahead and hit the pause button. Go ahead and hit quit and retry, because if you don't, you gotta rewatch that same cutscene, skip through it over and over again, go back to it. It's dumb. And my main problem with it is, and I'm showing probably this gameplay of Goku constantly dodging an Ultra Instinct, is like, who the fuck decided that short period of time was enough to do this? Like, it's less than 2 minutes, I guarantee you, even though someone's gonna say it's 2 minutes. Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry, here with Everything Anime Podcast, talking from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and a random topic I talk about. Today's video is on the game review of Dragon Ball Sparkign Zero, or Tenkaichi 4, which is what I think it should be called. Now, I know this is late. Rise of the Ronin came out 1 year later. Dragon Ball Sparkign Zero is coming out, like 8 months after its relevance? Well, 6. We're going into May. 6, 7 months. But, hold on. I did play Sparkign Zero when it came out. But, the day it came out, I was also at New York Comic Con. Check out my Instagram of Core the Lantern. I was doing Tozen that weekend. Bitch, I was slaying as Tozen. I ain't had a hair. I ain't had that purple tie-dye. And even if I did, I ain't want to do no dreads. No wig. I hate wigs. I'm notorious for cosplay wigs. They fucking itch. They annoying. They don't stay in place. I don't know what you cosplayers do to keep those shits in place, but I was not about to do no goddamn wigs. You knew who I was, okay? But anyways, I felt too busy during New York Comic Con to play it back then. And then, you know, I should have had time to play sometime between then and November. I mean, November, December. But then other stuff was going on, relationship, life. I had just got this new apartment. You know, I was constantly working 21 days in a row. I just made all these excuses for being way too busy. I was even talking about writing, which I wasn't doing at the time. And I'm going to get back into it. We're going to stop talking about me not writing. I'm getting back into it. Come May. I'm telling myself, you know, you love this, get back into it. But anyways, for some reason, I just never got to it until last week. Now, I had watched my brother and my nephew play it. They're the ones who's actually in this gameplay. They're the ones fighting in the background. And I remember, like, liking it. I was like, okay, this kind of looks like a better style. Although, at first, I was initially turned off by the amount of characters. I was like, I feel like Tenkaichi 3 had, like, more characters. I felt like there was, like, 100... maybe like 170, 180 characters in Tenkaichi 3. And yes, a lot of those are clone characters of Goku and Vegeta, transformations of Goku and Vegeta, transformations of Frieza. And we do have that in Sparkign Zero. There are all those same clone characters. You don't have to transform and stuff like that. You can just automatically choose that character. But it just felt like Tenkaichi 3's roster was bigger. Although currently at this time, I don't know if it had updated since, I'm pretty sure it has updated since October when it came out. But now, they've got all the characters up to Dragon Ball Superhero if you bought the DLC. You don't have to buy the DLC if you bought Ultimate Edition like I did. I just bought Ultimate Edition because I already know I'm going to buy the DLC later. So if I buy Ultimate Edition and now, I just get the DLC free when it comes out. So that's why I'm always down for the Ultimate Edition. I'm like, give me the best one so I can get all the characters. My relationship with the game, other thing I like to do in game reviews, I can talk about my relationship with the game and things like that. I've been a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I can't say Dragon Ball. I'm watching Dragon Ball. I'm at I finally got past the arc with the tournament, and I'm at like King Piccolo, where King Piccolo killed Krillin. And they're like trying to find out who King Piccolo is. And I've just for the first time seen the giant form and Kami basically looking like evil like he does. Like I know Kami as the good guy that watches over like all of Earth from the house, the tower, the floating tower thing on Dragon Ball Z. I had never seen him like this. So I was like, okay, I see it. That's cool. And they got the giant form. It ain't just a thing that came out in Dragon Ball Superhero. Like Orange Piccolo, he just wasn't born. He wasn't just a giant because he wanted to be giant. Like it was a thing. I was like, okay, cool. But Dragon Ball will be watching me. I don't be watching Dragon Ball. I really do be falling asleep. I don't know what it is. I do like slower anime. I like slice of life anime. And Dragon Ball is still showing the anime. It still has fights and stuff like that. But I feel like, I don't know. It's my speed, but I'm just kind of like zoning out sometimes. But, yeah, Dragon Ball's good. I just keep falling asleep. But I've been a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I used to rest home every day after school to, watch the episode. It used to be at a point where, me and my sister would get back from school, and, I'm like, oh, I gotta watch 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. She's like, I'm trying to watch MTV. So my grandma and my mom would make us, one day you get to watch Dragon Ball Z, one day she gets to watch MTV. Well, fuck people watching MTV anyway. MTV is just music videos. I'm like, if I miss an episode of Dragon Ball Z, when I get to school, somebody could be talking about, oh, did you see the episode last night where Piccolo fought 17. I'm like, what? Who the fuck when did Piccolo fight 17? And I kid you not, there were several major episodes I missed in Dragon Ball Z because of that as a kid. I missed Piccolo versus 17. I missed Vegeta versus 18. I missed Vegeta versus Android 19 and Goku versus Android 20. I had missed the original ending with Boo, their fight with Kid Boo. There was a lot that I had missed because as a kid, I would get home from school too late. Now, what I could make it to in the morning was Beyblade at 6 a.m., Yu-Gi-Oh! On Saturdays, Sonic X on Saturdays. If Dragon Ball Z had been a Saturday morning cartoon or if Dragon Ball Z had been a Toonami 9 p.m. thing, I would have got it because I ain't never missed an episode of Naruto, One Piece, or Dragon Ball Z. Or Naruto, One Piece, or Bleach. I ain't never missed that shit. But yeah, so I've always been a fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I've also been a fan, me and my brothers, of Dragon Ball Z Budokai series. I played Budokai 1, 2, 3, I think it was Budokai 1, 2, 3, and then went to Tenkaichi, which was a dramatic change. I think it came out on a PS5, and then Tenkaichi, PS2, and then Tenkaichi 2 and 3 came out on the Wii and the PS2 as well. Tenkaichi 3 was huge. Now, ironically, I used to think Tenkaichi 3's graphics were way better than Xenoverse. I was like, oh, we need the Tenkaichi 3 graphics. But if you go back, I was like, it was definitely a game of the time because Tenkaichi 3 does not look the best as it does now. But I never liked the Xenoverse series. I played Xenoverse 1 and 2, but I was like, I feel like it's missing something. This still has the Xenoverse combat. You don't have to do combos. Back in the day, I'm old. Back in the day, to transform into Super Saiyan Goku to transform into Gogeta, you had to type in the correct combos. If you messed up, you transformed into Fat Gogeta, you transformed into Skinny Gogeta, or, Gotenks, Skinny Gotenks, Fat Gotenks. You know what I'm saying? Your transformation was messed up. But if you did it perfectly, it felt like you accomplished something because you became that character. Same with, Beam Clashes. Beam Clashes used to be that fucking side to side or, spinning. I actually learned it's better to do side to side. That's how Tristan used to beat me. I didn't know that. I was doing the circle thing because that's what the circle thing was doing, but you had to just do side to side. Anyways, point is, back then, it used to hurt your palm and rip your skin open like Mario Party did. If I could have sued Sony back then, like we could have sued Mario Party back then, because Mario Party did fuck up our palms. You know what I'm talking about. Like you from the 90s, and you played Mario Party on that fucking GameCube, and that fucking thing fucking up your palm. Like, them CPUs was going too hard. What the fuck? Yeah, they got rid of that. Now you just like, I think you hold the triangle button and then you release it when it gets too. Well, I don't know. I have to understand the beam clashes. I've done some beam clashes, but I don't understand how it works yet. But yeah, back then, Tenkaichi, well, all the Dragon Ball Z games were like Mortal Kombat style, like how Mortal Kombat still is. Like you had to know how to play Dragon Ball Z back then. Now, I don't really hate it, but you just hold the R2 button and you choose triangle, circle, triangle, square, circle, X, or whatever, and you can use your special move. I don't hate it. I think the simplicity is kind of better, you know, including beam clashes, because it doesn't feel lesser. It just feels like this is how games are now. Although, like I said, Mortal Kombat still does them combos. You still gotta know what the fuck you're doing in Mortal Kombat to win. But I feel like Dragon Ball Z has made it easier. It's made it more accessible to all gamers, you know, and it can still be challenging. Like just because you press one button don't mean like somebody can't dodge out the way when you charge your ultimate attack. Like some of these also with these what ifs, I'll have almost beat the character and they just choose to fly off to the side at the last second. This motherfucker was down. I had knocked this bitch down and she still got up and dodged. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit be getting on my nerves. Yeah, them what ifs were pretty bad for that reason. Now, I would give it this, because, you know, we usually play Naruto series. We know the whole story from start to finish. We know One Piece from start to finish. Well, One Piece really be doing it. One Piece has rarely done a game where it follows a story. It's always like these like what if scenarios or like different, what could be a movie basically, style adventure or games. And Dragon Ball Z, and this, it does what if scenarios. Oh, I'll say Naruto too. Naruto does it too. Like, we know the Naruto story, but we just want Naruto to get all the characters and fight with them. But Dragon Ball does these what if stories. Two of them I really, really like. One we're going to talk about really quick is Gohan Black.
Awesome! You took it to him! Nice going, big bro!
Thanks, guys. But it was a close call.
Gohan, are you okay? For someone who just won a battle, you look
Yeah. Actually, Piccolo, while I was fighting Frieza, even though I outmatched him in terms of power, it hit me how much I was struggling just to stay alive.
Well, what are you gonna do? At times like this, when Goku isn't around and powerful enemies appear, you're not just gonna cry and run away, are you?
Never. I have people to protect. All of you guys included. So Piccolo, will you help me train again? Just like old times?
Sure. I'll put together a special regimen and we'll start right away.
You know, Gohan. It's him.
Is that me?
No, not quite. Only in body, but not in spirit. I never expected to see you here, Black.
Black? No wonder I couldn't find you, Trunks. That's bizarre. The ring must have created a tear in space-time. You're looking quite well, Gohan.
Trunks!
truth be known, I've often wondered what it would be like to fight against you in this body. I can't begin to guess who or what you are, but my gut tells me you're the worst enemy I've faced yet. Oh, is that what you think?
Fine then.
That is a great fucking idea. And here's the reason why. It should have been Gohan. Because the old man Kai awakened Gohan's energy. Yes, we know Goku's the main character. He had to be Goku. And Goku's all good. But still, listen. That could give Zamasu a tie to Gohan. He's like, why did the Kai unlock your energy? What makes you so special? Have Gohan become relevant. He just got his ass whooped in Resurrection F. Have him in the arc. Go back to Mr. Gohan. You know, Zamasu's like, let me fight against you. He loses against Gohan, and then you get this Gohan Black. Because then when you get the Dragon Ball Superhero, it doesn't feel like an ass pull where Beast Gohan comes out of nowhere. Gohan can lose to Gohan Black, and then you have that tie to Trunks, because we never saw this relationship between Trunks and Gohan. Like, it was a future Trunks, the better one, the one from Dragon Ball Z with the purple hair. He should have kept his hair purple. Because, I mean, all of this gonna make sense. All of this gonna tie together. But Kid Trunks in current Super still has purple hair as a kid. He didn't have blue hair. So you just tell me one day he decided to dye his hair blue because his hair is naturally purple. Apparently. I mean, I know I know in Dragon Ball Z his hair was also blue as a kid. But either way, bitch, it was purple in the future. So you should have kept his hair purple. And Dragon Ball Super Trunks, he don't seem like the same Dragon Ball. Even though he says he's the same Trunks from Dragon Ball Z, he don't act like the same Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. The Dragon Ball Z from Trunks was like a badass. He looked buff as hell. He looked like tough as fuck. This guy looked kind of shrimpy. Anyway, Trunks and Gohan had a past relationship. So for Trunks to come back from the future again, give him more interactions with Gohan. Vegeta can still be there. And there's something I'm going to talk about later with Trunks as well. But Vegeta can still be there, but have that relationship built with him and Gohan. Have Zamasu trying to play on that, you know, as Gohan Black. Be like, oh, Trunks, you know, this is all your fault. And now I'm your mentor. I'm your master. How does it feel to be killed by me? You know, and then Gohan can be like, stay away from him, you know, go. Like he did with Pan in Dragon Ball Superhero, have Gohan get pissed off and reach that form. He ain't got to go Beast Gohan yet, but he can just reach that higher level. He ain't even got to go blue. He can just reach a higher level that is on the same level as blue, you know? Kind of like how Super Saiyan Rose is on the same level as blue because Zamasu is a god. Just have Gohan reach a peak. Or, you know, tease Beast Gohan. Like, just tease like there's something back there. And then, you know, Tournament of Power comes around, have Super Trunks be in this arc, because Future Trunks is that he goes to the Tournament of Power, which I like. And the reason why I like that is I was like, why didn't Future Trunks come back to the arc? Because, you know, Future Trunks, I think he left as well after the Cell Saga. Yeah, he did, because he went back to his time and killed Cell before he came back. But it's just like, he could have been very useful in the Tournament of Power, because no offense to Tien, no offense to Krillin, but Krillin, you got, as much as I hyped you up fighting against Goku, and I know from now watching Dragon Ball, you are a very important character, but Krillin, you ain't do shit. You got knocked out first. Like, come on. I would have added Future Trunks somewhere in that. I don't know who you would replace. Tien, Yamcha, Piccolo. Just put Future Trunks in there somehow, because then he can have a relationship with his father, because in the What If they have like this back-to-back where they're fighting together. You could have him taught Android 17 and 18, because that's another thing that happens in the What If story. He's like, 17, 18, why are you guys here? And they're like, oh, we know that you might think of us as the ones that destroyed your future, but we're not the same ones. We're different. We're good guys, basically. We're allies of Goku. And Future Trunks can have to deal with that. He can fight with Android 17 and 18, the ones that destroyed his future, but he can see that they have a goodness in them. He can get that from Goku. You know, so those are the two what ifs I really, really liked. I was really, really drawn to, was those two what ifs. I do think Gohan Black again works better. I wish it wasn't a what if. I wish it was actually in the story, and I wish Future Trunks was in the super tournament arc. You know, Dragon Ball Super, whatever that 48 minute tournament was. You know, let's see. Any other thoughts on the game? The Dragon Balls, Oh, yeah, so this other thing. So in Tenkaichi and in the Budokai series, you had to find the Dragon Balls while you're fighting a CPU, while you're fighting in the main story. The Dragon Balls could be under a rock, they could be in the ocean. It ain't gonna tell you. I think it did. It might have had a dragon radar in the corner of the screen where you could gather the Dragon Balls as you was fighting. And I think even Xenoverse did that. I'm pretty sure Xenoverse had Dragon Balls while you was fighting. And you had to collect them while you was fighting. That was kind of cool. That was kind of like, oh, I found these here, here, and here. But now you can get Dragon Balls by just fucking playing the main story, playing in tournaments, unlocking characters. Sometimes, that's only way I know to unlock them right now. But even what you can get is kind of disappointing. Like, you can only wish for Fuse Zamasu and regular Zamasu. I know other characters, like, you unlock them through the story, but, like, even in previous Tenkaichi and Budokai series, like, you could wish for, like, a lot more characters. You can also wish for more Zenny, but after you bought all the characters, I haven't really found a reason to buy anything else. I'm like, I don't know what these capsules... I mean, the capsules tell you what they do, but, like, is it going to help me in the main story, or is this like just a CPU thing or something? You can buy outfits, which, I mean, yeah, it's necessary. You know, you want your characters to have all the drip they can possibly get. That's what my nephew said. He taught me drip. You know, you want them to have all the drip they can possibly have. Music, which I don't. Yeah, you know, I guess if you want to play different soundtracks while you're fighting, and also I'm pretty sure. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think they added all of the different fighting stages now, because from what I remember, and that's why in the gameplay all you see is my brother and my nephew fighting in the time chamber. I'm pretty sure that got updated too, where you can now fight in all of the various stages. Like, was that updated at some point? I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure we only had the time chamber at one point for CPU fighting. I might be wrong though, because again, I didn't play this until last week. I downloaded it during New York Comic Con, and then I just felt like I was super busy. I felt like I was behind on a lot of shit, so I never made time to like sit down and play it. But I really do like it in the end. I don't really have a lot of thoughts, because like I said, there's not, I don't need to tell you the story to this. Like, it's just a story from, you know, that we all know, from Dragon Ball Z start, from fighting Raditz all the way up to Tournament of Power. That's the Tournament of Power. And then some what-if scenarios. Everybody has a what-if scenario, but really, like I said, the only ones that matter to me were Gohan's story with Gohan Black, and then Future Trunks' story with him being in the Tournament of Power. But everybody has various what-ifs. Some of them are fucking annoying as hell. Like I said, you gotta defeat the character in like under 2 minutes, and it's such a drag, especially when the characters are dodging, and especially when you fight Ultra Instinct Goku. Like I said, he just constantly on dodge. I'm like, you don't fucking stay a little ass still. Anyways, yeah, it's a very short review. Again, I definitely recommend it. If you haven't played it, if you were waiting for it, I'm pretty sure it should be. I don't know, games these days are going up from like $60 and $70. It used to be $40 back when we was kids. It used to be, I think at one point it used to be $20, and $20 used to be expensive for my parents, which I understand, you know, now paying bills, but it used to be $20 and $40, and then $50, now $60, and now we got $70, and well, this was $109 because it's the Ultimate Edition, so games just get more expensive. But if it is cheap for you, or if you've been waiting for it, I definitely recommend it. Although I'm pretty sure by now you got your hands on it. You ain't need me to tell you that this game is fucking awesome. Definitely like a 9.5 out of 10. I'm only putting the 0.5 off because, again, the what if scenarios, the timer is too fucking short in my opinion to take out some of these characters. But yeah, pretty great game. Again, not much else to say. I'll still be playing it from time to time, just versus mode. The next game I'm on to is Bleach, which I did a first impressions for. And, oh, yeah, so this is my very last thing. So, normally I like to add in, like, cutscenes of the game and, like, you know, like, play off certain scenes. But I skipped all these cutscenes, including the what-ifs. And the only reason why is I don't want to read all that dialogue and, you know, just do what Bleach does. Like, when Bleach has its transitions, the scene just plays itself. Now, I know that'd be a lot more animating for them, but, like, honestly, I think I was watching it and reading it the first couple times, but I was like, especially when we start losing again and again against the CPUs, well, I think it's more that I already knew the whole story. When I started going to what ifs, I was like, I think I might have read one or two and watched one or two, but I was just like, some of them, they just play out basically the same. But I guess still the same ending. Aside from Gohan Black, which I did watch and read, And aside from a little bit of the Tournament of Power, it's Future Trunks. I was like, most of these what ifs, it's not really expanding much more. So I wasn't really interested. Oh, I do like Frieza's what if. One of Frieza's what ifs is bringing Cooler and King Cold into the Tournament of Power. That was kind of cool too. I do like that. I almost forgot to mention that. I like the idea of like that Cooler exists in canon in Super, because Cooler is not canon. All the Dragon Ball Z movies are not canon. You know, because Broly just became canon in Super. Broly Z, who was more intimidating but had less of a personality, was not canon at all. You know, he was just a character you could play. But, yeah, I do like the idea, because I think since Golden Frieza exists, I think, like, there's going to be, like, a Silver Cooler. Like, I know technically Metal Cooler is Silver Cooler, but, like, I feel like they would switch the name to Silver Cooler or something like that. Like, you know, I just feel like that's going to happen, because we down with Black Frieza, Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Red. I feel like we just gonna eventually start calling them colors at this point. You know, for real. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Very short, very sweet. But yeah, just basically saying that I really like this game. I'll probably clip in some things that I really liked or enjoyed, but not much really else to say. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. It'll most likely be Bleach or Dr. Stone or Tokyo Ghoul, whatever comes out first. I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.
Keep on trying. I am its creator. I'm Kamehameha.
Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys would be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado the Legendary Konjuis Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.